Greetings, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Pop In with Dr. Stretch. As always, we appreciate you joining us. I appreciate you being here, and to enjoy my special guest for today, as always. I'm Dr. Benita Anderson, founder of Stretch Educational Training and Support, and I will be your host. My special guest for today goes back a long, we go back a long way from the beginning of my career, actually. One of my mentors, probably my first boss as a professional, in my opinion, as I think, and she was a great mentor to me and helped me to get my career in education started and taught me a lot about everything education related. And with her guidance, I feel like I impacted a lot of lives as what we were doing at the time, actually putting people on jobs, and in some cases their first job. So welcome with me, Elder Dr. Feranda Williamson. Hi, Feranda. Thank you for being here.
Hey, Dr. Benita Anderson. Oh my God. You're talking about way back when we talk about, and most of your viewers may not know the word shorthand, right?
Yes, yes.
Oh my God, we thought it was going to last forever, and
yes.
Then boom, it stopped.
Had to go 70, 80, 90 words a minute, and we made sure that, and they got it too.
And they did. They did, by any means necessary.
That's right. That's right. Let's talk about who you are. What gives you joy? Who is Feranda?
Okay, Feranda, I'm the middle child of the late Warner Nero and Willis Nero, both from Greenwood, Mississippi. But my roots are in Chicago because I never lived in Mississippi. I only remember visiting a couple of times. And what my fondest memory was, it was so hot. But first of all, I have to say that I am a child of God, and I serve him each and every day. And I try to live by the motto, if I can help someone, then my living is not in vain. But I try to keep balance in my life. I'm also a minister at my church. But what brings me joy? Helping people, believe it or not, helping others and seeing others go to the next level. You know, right now I'm working with a couple of mentees professionally and in my church. And one has even said, well, I don't see myself as a leader, but you know, I see you where God is going to take you. So I get excited helping people. I love to work out. I love to skate. I love meeting new people. I love travel. And a well-kept secret, I am the #1 fan of Uncle Charlie Wilson. Yes, I've seen about 15 of his concerts. I never missed one, and I'm waiting to go to another location to see a concert outside of Chicago. But I just love to enjoy life and living it to my best.
That is a well-kept secret. I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, yeah. I love Uncle Charlie.
We all have our favorites, huh? Well, let's talk a little bit about your career. Just let our viewers know what you did, or, as a profession.
Well, I'm recently retired, but not retired from life. And I tell people the story that I'm no longer having to go on someone else's schedule. I have my own schedule, but I'm very active, very involved in the community, my church. I have a choir, but I'm a graduate of Northern Illinois University with my undergraduate degree, went on to get my master's from Roosevelt and my doctorate in education from Nova Southeastern. And I can't believe that it's been over 20 plus years with my doctorate degree. Time goes by fast. Yes. Started out teaching business education classes. My first job was with the Chicago public school system. I was so excited to be teaching. And then they had a major strike. And you know what happened? The first hired, the first fired. So I had to go, and then I went to a business school and taught there. And I was teaching at 3 different schools. And then I went to teach. How did you do that? I had 2 part-time in the day and 1 part-time in the evening. And then I heard about Robert Morris College at the time. and I went on an interview. I was just going to get a part-time evening job because I was working full-time. And a lady by the name of Jan Day, she said, well, we've got a full-time position open. I had never heard of it before then. So I went and applied and spent 17 years of my life there. I tell people I grew up at Robert Morris. I started out as a business instructor, then a program director, then associate dean. And I was one of the first people where they paid 100% for my tuition reimbursement to go pursue my doctorate degree. So I'm forever grateful for Robert Morris College, which was changed to Robert Morris University. And, you know, after I received my doctorate, I went to Malcolm X College, served as the Dean of Continuing Education, then add on health sciences, business and corporate services. And then I took a leap of faith. This was about, 20 years ago. The online environment, which people were very hesitant about.
Yes.
You know, that's not going to work. People are going to cheat. How do we know it's the real person? And I had an opportunity to relocate to Minneapolis, Minnesota, to work to develop their School of Undergraduate Studies. And why I say it was a leap of faith, because I was on track to be one of the vice presidents for the community colleges. So I, was moving down the tenure track and everything. And I said, God, if this is meant for me to be, there are a couple of things that had to be in place. I had to sell my house quickly, everything that I needed. And, when you go into a position, you always put your first bid up front. So everything I asked, it was no problem. And that was the first time with a position, nothing was a problem. So my house sold in a time period where they said that, the market was bad, and it sold in less than 20 days. And I got about 80,000 over what I wanted. So everything was lined up. Long story short, went there, actually lived there 7.5 years, developed the School of Undergraduate Studies, the programs there. And, then I went to the School of Education, which was the master's and the PhD program. So I have had a beautiful career and did not know that the skill sets that I utilize and develop with Capella University are where we are today with the online technology.
Yes.
Yeah, and still able to utilize it and share with others. So the other aspect is that I always include my ministry. I was called to the ministry while living in Minnesota and licensed as a minister. Then moving back to Chicago, I was ordained an elder by my pastor, where I currently attend, Sweet Holy Spirit Church, Bishop Larry Trotter. So Chicago Mass Choir, I'm the president and CEO. I've been in that position for 27 years now. I've been singing gospel music all of my life. And anybody that knows me know that I sing and I love it. That's my passion, singing. And so I have had the opportunity to lead this organization, a phenomenal group of people, and I'm just blessed.
I remember years ago when we actually were colleagues, you talking about my choir, the Chicago Mass Choir. And back then I was just, I was thinking about the history of it. How old, I mean, when would you say that this started? And by that, I mean, when you were in a leadership position.
Okay.
Did you?
Well, the choir was organized in 1988 by our founder, who was one of my best friends, the late James Chambers. And 4 years into the organization, he passed. And we started out as a workshop choir. We would only meet once a year in the summer. It was patterned after the Gospel Music Workshop of America. We would come together at Kennedy King College, and people from all around the city and the suburban areas, we would come and we would have classes in vocal techniques, different music related sessions. And at the end, we would meet in the band room, and musicians, producers, songwriters, singers from all over, we would come and learn songs. And at the end of the week, we would have a great musical. And then the third year, a music producer came and said, you guys from CGI Records, and said, you guys need to record. And so that's when we recorded our first project. And fast forward, this May 14th, we will be recording our 18th live broadcast recording and our 21st annual spring concert. We're a nonprofit organization. I have 80 active members. I have a phenomenal board of directors. I have officers that are responsible for the day-to-day operations of the organizations. I have a music director. I have a producer, just a wonderful group of people, professionals. Some are lawyers, police officers, ministers in their own churches, educators, and we just love the Lord, and God has truly blessed us.
That's amazing. So you took over as, what did you say, president and CEO?
Yes.
Congratulations.
Yeah, it's been 27 years now.
Sounds like a lot, but it sounds like you also have your staff lined up. So of course, a team is everything, having a team.
Absolutely.
Before we move on real quick, I noticed that you just had an event last month. Was this the workshop? What was this one?
Yes, this is the workshop. Now, remember I said we started out as a music workshop organization, and we would have the workshop every July, and we would have 500 to 1,000 people in attendance. And then things changed, time changed. And then, looking at it strategically, we weren't getting the numbers for all of the work that would have to go into preparing for the workshop. So we changed the format where we would provide free seminars throughout the year on various topics. And thank God for technology. The last couple of years, we've been able to offer the seminars online. And in this past February 26th, we did a panel discussion on gospel music. There were 3 different segments, and we had panelists and a moderator. The first one, Chicago Gospel Music History. The second panel was Gospel Music Today. And the third panel, we discussed the future of gospel music. It was well attended, and people are asking for a part 2. So I have a committee that works to plan our workshops, and they're now looking at assessments and feedback to determine the next workshop we're going to offer in the fall. There are times that we were able to offer it in a building such as the Kroc Center or a church, but this platform online has opened it up where we have people from around the world who attend the workshops.
Amazing. That sounds good. That's been the case in a lot of different situations where the pandemic or where we are now has turned out to be an advantage, because it allows, more people. It allows every industry actually to broaden their reach. So that's good. Well, congratulations. Sounds like a lot of learning goes on. Now let's make a quick shift and tell us a little bit. I know you probably have tons. You said 18. How many recordings?
We're getting ready to record our 18th project. Yes.
So brag, let's have a brag session. Tell us some of your awards.
Well, we've been, oh, wow. We've had the Key to the City in the state of Ohio. Last year, we were the recipient of the Best Gospel Artist for the Chicago Music Award. In 2017, as you see in the picture, we were the recipient of the Stella Award for Traditional Gospel Choir of the Year. Wow. It goes on and on. We have been nominated twice for a Grammy. Yes, I've been to the Grammys twice. Yes. Oh my God, what an experience on the red carpet. Seeing all of the artists was just phenomenal. I was in the same elevator, believe it or not, with Ike Turner.
Oh, yes. Wow. Did you see Uncle Charlie?
No,
not yet.
I didn't see Uncle Charlie. No.
That's coming. That's coming.
Yes, and we were nominated for 2 Dove Awards. So, and I have to say that we are one of the premier choirs in the nation. There aren't a lot of mass choirs, but God has position us to not only minister throughout the United States, but abroad. And I'm also responsible for booking our engagements. And I work with promoters out of the country. We've toured in Italy, Switzerland, Greece,
Wow.
Spain,
Mhm.
and it goes on and on for the last 16 years. But our last tour was in December of 2019. And I'm already in discussion with a couple of promoters for a possible tour this coming December 2022 in Spain and Italy.
That sounds remarkable,
Oh,
especially for, go ahead.
also, I'm going to Italy, Milan in October as a guest presenter to present a workshop on gospel music and the structure of Chicago Mass Choir. So I'm excited about that. The organization, they are assembling, well, in Europe, there are a lot of gospel choirs. So various gospel choirs throughout Italy, they're in this organization, Gospel Feder Music, and they're celebrating their 15th anniversary. And I'm going to be doing a presentation on gospel music, the roots of gospel music, and our structure of Chicago Mass Choir. So I'm excited.
You should be. That sounds exciting. Sounds amazing. You said that's coming up in the fall, in October?
Yes, the first week of October.
I'll check my schedule and see if I can make
Okay,
it.
okay.
Well, that's exciting. Now, before we leave you, this is a very, very important of Dr. Williamson. I know from way back, and I want her to do some mommy bragging before we leave.
Yeah,
Tell us.
I'm just a proud mother, and as you are yourself, my daughter Tracy Williamson, at an early age, she had an entrepreneurship spirit. I mean, she was producing her friends. They did a talent show. They participated in a talent show at the Regal Theater, and she was the producer. Many days I sat outside of Van Moody School of Music on every Saturday for her music lessons. And she just always said, "Ma, I want to do something in the music industry." Didn't know what she wanted to do, but she had to have an education. So she went to Northern Illinois University and majored in business administration, came home and said, "Guess what, Ma? Corporate America is not for me." And she even had a part-time job at one of our friends and colleagues, Gladys Jocel's A-Pro temporary agency. So you got to make some money. And she didn't even do well with that. So I knew this was not her path. But fast forward, she was very persistent, and she worked for 10 years as a label director for the oldest Black-owned gospel music label, Ty Scott Records in Indianapolis. She moved there, and then she decided, "Ma, I could do this on my own. I can, start producing." And that's what she did. Then moved back to Chicago. She's always reinventing herself. Now she's the program director of Rejoice 102.3, and they call her the culinary cutie. Why? Because
Yes.
she's a chef. She's cooking. Actually, she's at my house now. Believe it or not, we're having the red carpet for the Oscars. Now, how did I agree to that? I don't know, but she's fixing the food, and I'm going to have to change clothes. I was like, "You like to play and dress up a lot." Really? But I know there's a method to her madness for this. So God has really blessed her. She's very spiritual. She loves Jesus. She's very focused. And I'm just proud to say that I'm her mother.
And I'm proud to say that you have done a fantastic job. For my viewers, I actually had the opportunity to be a guest on her show, Real Talk,
Yes.
and she is phenomenal. She's a natural. I thoroughly enjoyed meeting with her and talking with her, and it was just a pleasure. So I'm shouting out Dr. Mommy, because clearly she did a very good job. This young lady she's great. She's everything.
Yes. And, in this day and age, Dr. Benita, as well as I do, it's not always easy. I don't care, the foundation that we establish into our children at some age, they're going to do their own thing. And we just have to be prayerful that they don't go too far to the left, too far to the right, and that the foundation that we have instilled in them, it's not going to go away. And I
Yes.
tell anybody, the greatest thing that I could have done for my daughter was to introduce her to Jesus.
Absolutely. So that foundation to always come back no matter what's going on.
Absolutely.
That stays in there. Well, I certainly appreciate you for taking some time out of your busy schedule to be with me today. For our viewers, if you don't forget, if you have any questions from Dr. Williamson or any of my guests, you can reach me at stretcherschool@gmail.com. And of course, as you know, you can connect with me on my social media pages. So there you go. Screenshot it. Just chat with me. Just connect, friend me, do whatever needs to be done on each one so we can connect, so we can keep up with what's going on with each other. And I appreciate you all being here. Appreciate your time, Dr. Williamson. Any final words before we go?
I just want to say kudos to you. And again, congratulations on achieving your doctorate degree this past December of 2021. And for your viewing audience, know that learning is lifelong. Don't give up. Whatever your dream is, you can do it. Just do the work. And I'm just so proud of you with Stretch. And I know you retired from your prior career as an educator, but now you're doing it for yourself, and that is phenomenal. So kudos to you. I'm just so proud of you, and I thank God that he brought you into my life. When I look back those years of the beginning, from shorthand to now we're online.
That's right. That's right. No more shorthand. Well, thank you. And yes, I am very grateful for this opportunity. I'm having a ball in my recreation after retirement. I call it, I'm refired. I'm not retired.
That's
and
right.
I'm loving every minute of being able to help other people and go into the schools and help the teachers get through this, time that they're going through, and using my experience with them.
Yes.
A lot of what I teach comes straight from my experience. And so, yes, thank you. I am enjoying my new life. All right. So with that being said, thank you everyone for joining us, and make it a great one.